my guest is Marla Albertie. Marla has lived on board a United States carrier, therefore she feels she's unstoppable. As a native of Jacksonville, Florida, she loves to read, travel, and shop. Many of her travels have been on cruises, as she has taken 16 thus far. Marla believes life is a journey and we can all create the life we want, so why not? You only live this life once. She has a passion to see growth in people's lives and wants others to pay it forward. As an energetic visionary, she is the owner and founder of TruthSpeaksGroup LLC, a multimedia company that creates strategies and solutions for work-life integration and harmony. She is also the founder of I.O. for Teens, Inc., a skill, confidence, and career building organization teaching teens how to achieve their dreams based on a science of human behavior. Marla doesn't believe in work-life balance, as she believes all areas of our lives can be integrated and we can create harmony in our lives by means of I.O. psychology and positive psychology methodologies. Marla's mantra is to teach, train, educate working women who desire to understand their truth and live a life of success defined on their own terms. Marla is a certified professional career executive and life coach, trainer, APTD, which is Associate Professional in Training and Development, certified Chief Happiness Officer, certified positive psychology practitioner, director of HR, instructor of psychology, Amazon best-selling author, and has over 25 years of business, coaching, and training experience. Marla holds a Master's of Education in Adult Education, Bachelor of Applied Science in Supervision and Management, and an Associate of Science in Financial Services. She is currently pursuing her PhD in Industrial and Organizational Psychology. Marla loves speaking, teaching, and writing. Among the many ventures she's involved in here are just a few. The founder of the motivational movement, KIM, which is Keep It Moving, TruthSpeak Academy, an annual Women's Empowerment Conference, Imagine, which is I Am Awesome, Growing in Excellence. She has a YouTube channel featuring the talk show Creating Your Career with Marla J. Albertie, which has 36 episodes, and she has the blog called The Working Woman, theworkingwoman.co. She also has published 2 books and co-authored a third. Marla is an active member of the Junior League of Jacksonville, ATD, SIOP, SHRM, Blacks in INO, APA, ICF, and IPPA. When she's not trying to save the world, Marla loves a good story and frequents the movies to eat her favorite movie snacks, nachos. She loves spending time with her family and friends, cruising, shopping, and reading. Let us meet Marla. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gaby U Show. Today, I have an amazing guest, Marla Albertie. Marla, welcome to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you, Gabby. Hey, everybody. Excited to be here.
Yes. All right. So let's get this rolling. So the first question I want to ask you today, my icebreaker question, is only found on the Gaby U Show. So the first one I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
Favorite? You said fried food?
Favorite food.
Oh, okay. I don't have a bunch of favorite fries.
Like what? No fries. Might be fried. I don't know.
Okay, so my favorite food, I do love pizza. I like
Okay.
pizza.
All
I like
right.
pizza. I really do.
Any special type or anything? Please.
Chicken Supreme. So you can tell I go to Pizza Hut a lot. So Chicken
Okay.
Supreme, and you know they don't really make Chicken Supreme anymore. You have to
Okay.
add the chicken. You have to say Supreme and then add the chicken. So I get
Okay.
Chicken Supreme, but I don't like olives or anchovies. I don't like those.
Okay.
I don't like black
Okay.
olives.
Yeah. So you just like the chicken. So the chicken supreme, I'm assuming they put a lot of chicken.
Yeah, they have the chicken and they have the obviously tomato sauce and extra
Okay.
tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes, and they have the bell peppers, mushrooms,
Okay.
banana peppers. Oh, it's so good. And then you gotta have the stuffed crust. You gotta have
Okay.
stuffed. Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that sounds delicious now.
It
Like
is.
I'm picturing it,
I have a lot of favorites, but that's one of my favorites. I mean, I
Okay.
like to eat.
Yes. Yeah, I love to eat too. And I mean, I do different kind of variations and all that. Being that, I'm a holistic practitioner. So I give all these options here and there of, we can still eat our amazing food. It doesn't have to be even though healthy, it doesn't have to taste like paper. So that
Right.
is one of my
Right.
goals, that you can still enjoy foods and still, be healthy. All right. So the next thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite quote? I know we do
Quote. Oh
have a
my
lot
gosh.
of quotes, but there's one that we always kind of hang on to. So I want to hear that. We want to, all hear that.
One quote that I live by was from a coach. So I'm a coach, right? So
Yeah.
coaches have coaches, which at least they should, right?
Yes,
So my
absolutely.
coaches from back in the day, and she told me she couldn't take credit for it either, but she told me, whatever you believe, you're 100% correct. And that has been a pillar in my life because whatever I believe, I'm correct. So if I believe that I can do it, then I'm correct. If I believe I
Yes.
can't do it, I'm correct.
That
It's
is
about
so
your
deep.
mind. It's
Yes.
in it deep. In it deep. Oh my God, it's
Yes.
so deep. Whatever you believe. So if you believe the sky is purple, Gabby, no one's going to argue with you. You are correct.
That's right. Yes.
You are correct. So if you believe it, not a problem. If you believe the floor is cold, then the floor is cold. You're correct. You are correct. Not saying your opinion, not saying the opinion from somebody else matters, but what you believe about you is correct.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's so deep. So I will never forget that.
It's all about the mindset too. It's like
Everything.
yes.
Everything.
And this is very important, especially when we are faced with doing all this challenging stuff and you are comparing, like, oh, this person do it, maybe I can't do it. Yes, you keep saying that I cannot do it, your body will
Your body will let you
agree.
know.
Your mind, your body, your spirit will say, yes, you're right. You can do it. And that's why we have to be very careful from what we have thought about, what we are speaking out, just speaking those powerful words. And sometimes, we might not believe it, but the more we are saying it, I mean, I know a lot of times this stuff comes from the inside, but sometimes too, you just saying it, even though you don't believe it, it starts becoming the truth. And it can be the other way too, negative way too, so
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So you gotta drive it. It's up here. It's up here. And it's not, I'm not saying I perfected it at all, but I'm a proponent of what I promote to my clients and to whomever. I try to practice that.
Yes, that is great. Okay, this is where I ask you viewers, I hope you guys are writing this stuff down. All right. So the next thing I want us to go into, I want you to share with us what you believe has made you this woman you are today, from your victories, your struggles. Is it from your childhood, career, all the way, as much as you can. The floor is yours. We got time.
Wow. Wow, that's such a deep question. So I think something I talk, so the reason I coach is because, so my mantra is I coach the 9-to-5 working woman to help her discover work-life harmony, work-life integration and harmony, not balance. So I call myself the work-life harmonizer because I truly believe I harmonize all areas of my life.
Yes.
Again, I'm not saying I've perfected it, but I think I do a pretty darn good job at it. Right. And what that means is when I have my clients, when I talk to my clients, a lot of them, I've already been in their shoes or I'm walking in their shoes, so I can empathize with them. So one of my coaching philosophy is SEUQ, strategic, empathetic, unscripted questioning. I'm able to empathize with them by having unscripted questions, by listening to what they're saying and listening to what they're not saying. And the reason I can do that is because I have been through HE double hockey sticks hell in life. Right? I've been married and divorced twice, been bankrupt, had to start life over multiple times, been sick. I had two brothers. My dad had 3 kids. My mom had me. So I had 2 brothers. Both of them are deceased. My mom is deceased. You know, I am the caretaker for my dad. I have a grown son who had autism growing up, but he's happy and fine now. You know, he's married. You know, I have to help them. You know, I have the same problems and issues and concerns that everybody else has. So my worries are not bigger than your worries. My concerns are not bigger than your concerns. But what I teach folks, women, and I do have men that I coach as well, Gaby, is that you can overcome, you can keep moving forward. So my mantra is, one of my motivational phrases, keep it moving. Kim, go to my website, you can get the t-shirt. But Kim, we all have a it, and we have multiple it's in our life. And I believe that my purpose is to help people push through their it's, because I believe they can. But one thing I won't do, though, I won't believe in it more than you. I won't believe in your dream more than you should. Because I believe in order for me to be the proponent to push you, I got to believe in what I'm doing. Right. So a prime example, when I became a coach, my coaching business is 10 years old. I'm a coaching and training business 10 years old this year, hit 10 years in April. I was told that coaching businesses don't last that long. Okay. All right. Well, here I am 10 years later. Suppose I would have believed that. Suppose I would have stopped and gave up. You know, now, am I on Tony Robbins level? Am I getting $100,000 per person that I coach? Nope. Does that mean that I'll get there? Yep. That's because my mind, I believe I can. You know, so I have to first believe that I can do XYZ in order for me to have XYZ, right? So you got to first be that in your mind. Be, do, have. You know, a lot of people say have it, or a lot of people say, or, you know, do it first. No, you got to be the $100,000 coach. You got to be the $100,000 podcaster. You have to be that in your mind, because the law of attraction tells us that, if you believe it or not, whether it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, it's still a law, right? But it tells you, your mind doesn't know. Your mind doesn't know whether you're driving a Porsche or whether you're driving a lemon. It doesn't. Your mind doesn't know. Right? But if you continue to push yourself down and say, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, then you won't. That goes back to my favorite quote, right? Yes. So one thing I do, Gaby, which is something I consistently do, is I have my clients, one of the first things I have them do is to make a list, remove obstacles. So an obstacle can be your kids, your family, your spouse, your job, money. Remove that for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and make a list. Get a pen in your hand and get a piece of paper and make a list of all the things you want to do. Just make the list. Make the list. And the amount of women that are clients that have come to me that have stated, Marla, I can't do that. Well, you're right. You can't. And they're like, well, huh? I thought you were supposed to be my coach. Well, I'm going off what you're saying. Now, if I sit here and say that you can do it, are you going to believe me? Is that going to change your mindset? You have to first believe you can do it. So make the list, and then let's start to break down that list. So I always use the example of writing a book, Gaby. I'm the author of 2 books. I have many more coming. And so I've also co-authored as well. So, but people will say the average working woman that maybe have kids or not, let's say you have 3 kids under the age of 10. Okay, that's normal. Right. So when are you going to have time to write a book? Well, I'm not saying you need to sit down and write the book in one session. Who does that? Stephen King doesn't do that. Right. So, but when can you make time to write a book? Well, I can't make time. That's all I hear is I can't. Well, here's how you can. Here's how you can harmonize. Here's an example of harmonizing. If you wake up every morning at 5 to get the family ready, get the kids ready, get everybody off to school, blah, 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 blah. Even if you work from home, that's the new age we're in now, which is fine. Can you get up at 4:50? Can you get up at 4:50? Give yourself 5 minutes, go use the bathroom, brush your teeth, do whatever you need to do. And then give yourself 5 minutes to have your journal next to you on your nightstand or your laptop or computer or tablet. And can you give yourself those 5 minutes to just start writing an outline, writing your ideas down, free writing. Free writing is just writing with no limits. Can you give yourself 5 minutes to do that? And when I finally break it down like that, to way to harmonize that into your life, the clients are like, oh, okay, well, I can do that. And then here we are, when we talk again in another week or 2 weeks, they come back and say, oh, well, Marla, I have 5 pages now. So these are just examples. And this is, I'm not proposing things to people that I don't do, right? So I have to practice these things as well. So I'll stop there because I can keep going. But that's how I kind of started. I took my struggles, and I continue to take my struggles, and I make them wins, and I learn from them. Because again, I'm not perfect at all.
Yes. Wow. I love that. I mean, this is such amazing thing that, and this is the thing that when we're talking to people, and I do share that some things I would tell people, like, this is not from textbook. This is because I have experienced this. And I love that you're sharing this too. And that is why, having a podcast like this to show people that, look, people like you, look at what you have. You have gone through all this, but here you are today, using those things that's supposed to be like bring you down and make you feel like you don't, you don't want to belong in this world, but you're using this, to help other people. And this is where I always will say this, turning those lemons into sweet lemonade.
There we go. Turn into lemonade.
Not your regular sour lemonade, sweet lemonade. So,
right.
yes, and love it. I mean, going through, you say just so smoothly, but you've gone through a lot. I mean, a lot of losses in your life because this, mom, brothers, like, but you are using this coming up, looking at all the best things in life, because this is something I share a lot too, that where there is life, there is hope. We learn we are never too old, we are never too young.
Never.
Just
ever.
Just have to see how we can modify things, change things, try things out, mix with people, have a community. We are not supposed to be alone.
Nope.
We have
a believer in that.
Yeah, gifts, talents, and there's a reason we have them. It's not just to keep it to ourselves, but to share it around, and this is, I see you're doing this, which is awesome. Like, that is where we need to be in this world. We are not meant to just be on ourselves. There's a reason why we have all this stuff. That's
I agree. And let me add to that, Gabby, because a lot of people we compartmentalize. I think I'm a master compartmentalizer. So that's why when people ask me, how are you able to do all this stuff? I compartmentalize a lot of stuff. I try to mix a lot of things together. But with that being said, a lot of times when you compartmentalize, people take it negatively and they say, well, I'm only focusing on this and I can't do XYZ, or I can't do that. Well, I'm not saying to compartmentalize your family or your kids or your finances. Everything you're one person. So we're made up of we're very complex. We're very dynamic and unique.
Holistic.
So I follow the wheel of life, and if you Google wheel of life, there's multiple renditions of it, but there are, let's say, between 9 and 12 different renditions of it. But we have all these different areas of life: mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, romantic, social. Those are all areas of your life that they're going to intertwine together. At some point. They're going to mix together. So that's why I don't like to say the work-life balance, because when you balance, this is what happens. So you have to learn to shut some things off sometimes so you can focus on this. But that's why another tactic I tell clients to work on is time blocking. It's an old tactic. It's nothing I came up with, but it's something that works. Time block, because if you don't make time for you on your calendar, somebody else will.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you don't build your calendar Like my family and my friends pick on me, but I live my life by my Google Calendar. But guess who sets the Google Calendar?
Yep.
Me. And guess who changes and clicks and removes events if my body, like you said earlier, if my body says no? Me.
Yes. You have the power.
I have the power to do that. But a lot of people are like, well, no, I already promised I'll go. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying be a keeper of your word. I am a keeper of my word. However, if I'm not feeling well, or if there's something that I can't do an event or come to something where I'm not 100%, how is that benefiting you and me?
Yes, absolutely.
It's not. So I have to put myself first. There's a reason they say put the mask on the airplane. I have to put myself first in order to keep my cup full, in order to serve everyone else. So I want people to think about that when we listen to us talk. Think about, you know, all the things you have going on in your life, and where are you in the midst of all that? Where are you? Where are you in all that?
That a lot of the times, a lot of moms can go through that, you know, and there's what we call, I don't know if you say the sandwich generation. You know, you're taking care of your younger kids, taking care of your older parents, you know, and you're trying to manage your career, sometimes you can get lost in yourself. Like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything for myself, you know, I'm doing stuff for everybody else. And another part of that, again, you know, we'll call the people pleaser. Like me, I always tell myself that I'm a recovering people pleaser, and learning to say no without even giving you a reason why. I don't have to.
No is a complete sentence. Period.
No, because I cannot. Why? Why do you want to know? So it's one of those things, and I know a lot of us go through that, because you just find out over the years you are just getting all piled up, wired up, like what is going on? You know, you can't seem to move forward in doing some certain things because you are putting so much on your plate, you know, and yours is empty. You know. And it's not about being selfish. It's something that one have to be clear that yes, self-care is not selfish, you know, and of course knowing what self-care is beyond just going to have a girls' night out or massage. There's so many things that are considered self-care. Yeah. Because just be you sitting at home, reading a book or chilling, watching Netflix, and decide not to do anything. That you know, it doesn't have to be so.
That doing nothing is doing something.
Yes. Yeah, recharging, you know. I always it's interesting for me. I don't know, maybe for you, but I get my best ideas when I'm in the shower.
Oh my God. Me too. I do my thinking in the shower and driving.
Yes.
That's correct. So I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the thing. I was saying that, you know, my best ideas have come from when I'm in the shower. So it's like, oh, you know, like, oh, that's, you know, that is my own self-care time when everywhere's quiet. I'm the only one there. You know, so sometimes that's what you need, self-care. Just you sitting down and doing nothing. Doesn't have to be so expensive.
Doing nothing is doing something.
Getting away, of course, being on your own is good, but you know, there's a lot of ways. But so I want you to tell me, what are you most proud of as a woman today?
Ooh. Oh gosh, that's such a deep question.
I'm sure you're proud of many things, but just
I know. There's so many things that I'm proud of. I think you know, I don't think anything tops being a mom, you know, having a child, you know. So I would definitely say I'm proud of being a mother. I don't think anything tops that, you know. The opportunity to raise and bring a life into the world is a beautiful thing. And I think that's one I'm proud of many things. That's one of the most proudest things that I am in, that I'm one of the most important things I'm proud of.
Yes, that is great. Amazing, because it's not easy being a mom.
Nope.
So that is definitely, pat yourself on the back. Or you mamas, nobody should tell you that, you are not doing a good job. Just being a mom
Right.
is a whole,
Right.
a whole
Right.
nother level. Yeah. So
Yep.
what are some advice you want to give our listeners today? Like, I mean, we've talked a lot of great stuff, but I just want us to kind of put it in a little box, cute little box here. And, what advice would you, encouraging words you want to give our listeners before we end the show today?
Yeah. So great question. So some advice I would give our listeners. Yeah. So one thing I'll say is for folks to keep bragging on themselves. Ask yourself, how often or how much do you brag on yourself? So I have a book called, it's my second book actually, and I relaunched it back in January of this year. And it's called The Ultimate Brag Book, 100 Questions About How Awesome You Are. When was the last time you made a list of all the things that you like? Right. And I ask people this, and I say about 90%. 90% of people say, you know what, Marla, I don't know. Now there are 10% of people out there like, oh, I write down myself all the time, which is great, which is wonderful. I love to hear that. But 90% don't. And so I wrote this book out of just concern of with my clients, coaching them, with them not being able to make that list. Again, going back to that list I talked about earlier, that list of things you want. So in my book, it's a fun book. And I talk about making the list of your favorite restaurants, your favorite foods, 10 things you love about yourself, 10 companies that you would run if you were the CEO, and it's just a fun book. It's not about you being conceited. It's not about you thinking you're better than anybody else. This is not about comparison at all. I want you to think about you and you only, not your kids, not your family, not your spouse, not your anybody else, just you and you only, and just make the list. And continue to brag on yourself and think about your accomplishments. You have accomplished something. You're here on this earth for a reason. You were born for a reason. You are not a mistake. So write the list down. Write it. You don't have to compare your list to anybody else's. No one has to see your answers. So that would be the first piece of advice I would give. Is keep bragging on yourself. The next piece of advice I would give is whatever you believe in, whatever you want to do, just start. Starting is the hardest thing. If you want to start a business, you don't need a website. You don't need thousands of dollars. Just start with research. Start with what you want to do. Some people say they want to start a business and have no idea what they want to do. Well, I just want to do a side hustle. Well, you need to I don't care what job you have, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. If you go watch Shark Tank, I have not seen one person on Shark Tank that's not passionate about what they're doing. You need to be passionate about what you're doing, because guess what? The people are not buying your product just because you're cute, right? They're buying the product because they see themselves with it. They see themselves in the product. They see you. They're buying you, the brand. So same with myself. They're not coaching. They're not going to hire me as their coach or hire me to write the story or help them with something because I'm gorgeous, right? They're gonna do it, which I am, right? But they're gonna do it because of my tenacity and my drive and my belief in what I'm doing. So whatever you're chasing, whatever you're going after, Matthew McConaughey says he's going to continue to chase his future self, right? So whatever that future self is, keep going after him, her, they. Keep doing it and be prepared for the obstacles that are going to come. Obstacles can be death. Obstacles can be bankruptcy. Obstacles can be running out of gas. There's going to be obstacles. No one's life is perfect, but it's how you respond to these actions. Remember, people show you on social media what they want you to see. No one shows you the whole story. Kevin Hart says an overnight success takes 10 years. And I believe that. We're excited. We see Kevin Hart now, but where were we at when he was not where he's at? We were minding our business, right? So I say all that to say our best second piece of advice is to give is whatever you believe in it and keep going. Going back to my quote, right? Whatever you believe, you're 100% correct.
Yes. Wow, those are amazing. I hope you guys are making notes of all this lovely stuff. You got to rewind it back and hear this stuff. This is good stuff. Yeah, that is it. So it's one thing that I always say in most of my podcasts that, talking about just starting out doing things because I personally, and I know many of us, maybe I'd rather be in a place where I feel like I have tried something than be in a place where I'm still wondering that I haven't
Oh,
tried
yes.
it. Because before you know, it's going to be 10 years, 20 years, and you're like, ooh, I wonder what I would have been if I had tried. No, 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 that's not a good place to be. Go out and do those stuff, okay? Sometimes that's how you don't have to be perfect, because you see people doing stuff. It's not that they have to just get in, you have to try stuff, you will make mistakes, you know. Some you make more mistakes than the other, but you learn from it and you get better. That's how you'll be able to refine the process and also know if that's not something for you, you know. So just do it. Okay, so Marla, how can people connect with you?
So great question. So yeah, so definitely head over
Mhm.
to my website, www.truthspeakscoaching.com. And so the name of the company is called TruthSpeaksGroup, but I just kept my coaching, it's easier to find it that way. Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm under Marla J. Albertie. I'm on Instagram, T Speaks Group on Instagram. You can email me at contact@truthspeakscoaching.com. I will respond to you. Give me some time, but I will respond to you, I promise. And just head out there if you want. So if you go out to my website and sign up to be on my email list, you will get a free download for a work-life harmony workbook, not a worksheet. I give you a free full workbook. So go out there and get that workbook and sign up to be on my email list. And then also, I have a nonprofit supporting teenagers. So please check out a website for the nonprofit, www.io, the letter I, the letter O, FOR teens, TEENS.org, ioforteens.org. Go out there, check that out. That's where we're introducing the principles of IO psychology, which is what I'm getting my PhD in, which is the study of human behavior in the workplace. We're introducing these principles to teenagers. So please go out to the website, check us out. But yeah, that's how you can find me.
Yes, and get the book too.
Yes, Amazon. So the easiest way to get the book is if you type in my name, Marla J. Albertie, on Amazon. Both of my books will come up if you do it that's the easiest way to do it. Or you can go to my website, either or.
Okay. So if you go to the website, you probably will see all the links. And of course, I'm going to be adding it to this podcast, all this information. It will be on the description area so that you guys could connect with her. She got great stuff, guys. So connect with her. Maybe I think I'm thinking of that book too. Like, let me get added to my own.
Yes. Get the book, Gabby. Get the book. Go brag on yourself.
Yes. I love that. So, okay, awesome. So thank you so much, Marla, for coming in today. Really appreciate your time. Yeah. And so I'm gonna end this
Thank
podcast
you.
today.
This has been awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. So I'm going to end this podcast today with one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou. She says, "When you know better, you do better." All right, guys, that's it. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.